Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K. This is part 2 of the shadow box tutorial using supplies from Kraft Supplies for You. Next, I'm going to build up a little flower cluster here, also in the side, a little flower spray. And this time I'm going to use some of these acrylic bead sprays from Kraft Supplies for You. And these ones, if you need to trim them, if you have a good scissors, sometimes it works on the wires. But I often find that just a little wire cutter works pretty good to cut these. So for these, what I like to do first of all is I kind of like to twist them together a little bit so that they stay together. And I shape them just a little bit, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to put a little bend in them like this and put a big glob of glue. Kind of the same thing, but I'm going to trim off some of these wires because I don't need that long of tails on all these. So again, I'm going to start off with a little glob of glue on the inside corner. I'll do my best to get it on camera. Again, I'm not too concerned because I'm going to be putting flowers in there, so it doesn't have to look pretty at this point. You just need it to stay. Then I put a little bit of glue over it. And again, you kind of want to hold it in place or keep it in place until it's fully dried. So I'm going to give that a minute here to dry, and then we'll keep on moving on. I'm going to add some more green leaves to the bottom. And there's still a little bit of enough tack here with this glue, so I'm not going to need to put any more glue down, I don't think. So that's what we have so far. I think this time I'm going to put some of these down, but I'm going to do it before I put all my flowers down. So I'm going to bunch some of these up and kind of put it in the middle of where I think I want all my flowers to come out. So that's kind of what I have so far. For this flower cluster, I think I'm just going to use one of these as kind of my center flower. I'm just wrapping some of the wire that was hanging off of it before I glue this down. So that's what I have so far. I'm going to add some of these rosebuds next. Next, I'm going to add some of these flowers from Kraft Supplies for You. These are some fabric ones with the pretty pearls in the middle. And this, I think it's going to be easier to put glue in here and then attach them. So I'll do my best to stay on camera, but it's kind of hard. It's awkward angles here for me. So I'm just going to attach it kind of in there like that, and seems like it's sticking in the glue. And I'm going to do the same thing kind of in this back corner also with the same type of flower. To finish this off, I'm going to add a little pink rosebud right in there. And I want this one to look a little fuller, so I am going to open it up a little bit. Kind of feather it out there just so it looks a little fuller. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more of these pink flowers just along the back inside, just to kind of make it look similar as I did over here. I think I'm just going to leave it as one back there. So I'm happy with the way that looks. To make this look a little fuller in the back, I'm going to add some more leaves back here on this side. I'm also going to add a leaf back in here also. I'm going to put one back in here too. And I'm going to stick one right inside here also. So that's kind of my finished little clusters. And I'm going to add one more in there, I guess. So then I think I'll be happy. So that's what we have. So So my original plan, which isn't going to work as nice as I had hoped, just because I glued the Cherish up too high, is I was going to take this gorgeous trim and hang it right here, but if I do that, it's going to cover my word. And I love this flower spray, and this is my bigger of the two flower sprays, and I really don't want to hide this one over here, but I could glue this down right here. I was going to use these cute little clothespins to hang that there, but that's okay. I might just cut this up and use the little heart pieces on the side, and I think that would be really cute. So I think I'm going to do that with that, but I just wanted to show you that because I didn't think that through all the way. I do still have this remnant piece here from a past Kraft Supply for You design team project. It came from one of the collar appliques, and I am going to glue that up here. I just really like that one. And so I am going to glue that up there and attach that down. I might have to trim a little bit of this one hanging off there. But I do like the look of that, and I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac for that. I didn't put glue on all of it, just this top part, because I'm not quite sure what all is going to fit right there. So I'm just going to glue a little bit at a time. So I've glued that little applique in there. I think that looks really cute. Next, I do want to add this little cherub angel, and it is a charm. And I think I want to use it in this little flower cluster over here. And so what I am going to do with this one is, since I'm not using it as a charm, I am going to take off the top part. And you just use some sort of needle nose or pliers just to pull it out. It comes out pretty easy. I just twisting it and pulled it out. And so I will stick like a little bead or something over it so that I do hide that. But if you don't like that, you can always take some gesso and just cover that little glue mark up. That's what I've done on some of the other ones. But I might just run a little bit of a bead trim along here at the very end. So I am going to hot glue this little angel into place here. That's what I have so far. So I am going to take this little cabochon and glue it in here. One of the things when you do flower sprays and clusters is don't be scared to cover up some of your flowers if you have to. You can always add a few more in the end if you need to fill it back out again. But I do kind of like the look of this one a little bit closer up. You could also glue it to the back if you wanted to somewhere. But I do like the look of it kind of angled right there, so I am going to add some glue back here and glue it down. I'm just going to use hot glue for this, and I might have to go in and add some more, but we'll just try this to begin with and see how if I can get it to attach to something here. So that's what we have so far, and next I want to add one of these two pieces. They're both Kraft Supply for You. And I think both of them would look cute on here. I don't think you could go wrong with either choice. You know, you can of course take embellishments like this and put them higher up on your flower clusters if you want. I usually try it out in a couple different spots before, or like I said, I think it would look cute down here too, but I actually think I kind of like it up on the top right there. So that's where I'm going to put that one. And I'll save this for another project later on. But I don't think you could go wrong either if you do it up here or you glue it down here next to her. I think, yeah, I really like it up there. So that's where I'm going to put it. And again, I'm just using hot glue. And I'm just going to hold it in place here just for a minute just to make sure that it sticks pretty good. But we have that right there. I think that's really cute. I really like that. So I have one little embellishment that I've had this in my stash for a long time. It's been sitting on my desk. It's just a little bird. I'm not quite sure even where I got it from. But I'm going to use this also and just attach it to the top of this little flower up here. So I have that little bird. I'm going to add this little key next. It's a little key charm. Again, from Kraft Supplies for You. I'm just going to be careful to not put too much hot glue on it. You can also use E6000 glue if you prefer that to glue down some of your heavier embellishments. So I just attached that right there. I also have this little pink heart from Kraft Supplies for You. And I'm going to attach that right there. And for this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the Fabri-Tac just because I don't want too much of the hot glue to seep out. And this, I don't think will be as bad. I'm just going to try and clean it before I glue it down. I'm just trying to clean it out a little bit with just, this was just a wire piece left from some of the flowers, just to clean up the glue so it's not so messy when I stick it down. So that's what that looks like. Like I said, these are fun little embellishments. Okay, I'm almost done with the inside. To finish it off just a little bit, I'm going to add some bead trim, which Kraft Supplies for You does carry all sorts of colors of bead trim. And so my plan is to just kind of, I'm going to for sure cover that little spot on the top of my little angel or my cherub. But I'm just going to glue it in a couple spots, and I'm just going to kind of have it just look like it's just kind of laying down here. And I think I'm going to switch. I have some white. I think I'm going to switch to the white. The pink looked cute too, but I think I'm just going to do the white in here. I think that pink just wasn't quite the right color pink for me for this project. So I'm going to attach this back here, and I'm just going to try and put a little glue up in the back wall down, kind of far down behind all of my little flower cluster or spray back here. I'm going to try and move the pieces out of the way. And I'm just going to glue this back here just to start it off with. So I think I have that kind of attached back there. I just want to hide my end back there is basically all I'm doing. And so again, I'm just going to kind of wrap this wherever it makes me happy. Again, I'm going to put it a little bit of dab of glue on the top of this angel's head just to cover up that little glue mark that's up there. I'm going to give that a second to dry before I wrap any more. And you don't have to put a lot of glue, just in a few strategic spots when you're kind of laying beads down like this. I just think it kind of gives a nice little finished off look. I'm just going to attach a little glue back here in the corner of my frame and kind of hook up the beads back there. And I'm going to wrap it, I think, around behind this cameo. I'm going to put a little glue on top of this rose right here. Then again, I'm just going to hide my end behind this flower cluster, so I'm just going to pull it forward very carefully. And I'm just going to add some kind of glue back there. Again, it's going to be a little tough for me to show you guys on screen, but I'm trying to explain what I'm doing. So I'm going to also put just a little dab of glue because I do want to bring this little bit of beads forward and hold it in place. So I am going to put just a little dab of glue right there also to hold it in place. And so here's kind of the finished look for the inside. So you can of course stop there if you want to, but I think I'm going to keep on going. I think I want to do, because if this were to sit up, I think I want to do a little bit of a flower spray up here. And then my other plan is at the very end is I'm going to attach these acrylic flowers right here and put beads in the middle of them. I just think that would really look really cute. So I'm going to do that too at the very end, but I just wanted to tell you guys that. So I'm going to go ahead and do some more flower clusters on the top if you guys want to stick with me for that, if you want to watch some more decorating. Okay, I'm going to start working on the top here, and if I would have picked up more of these, I probably would really like the look of that, I would put one going this way and then flip it and put one going this way, but I use the one in here and I just have this one, so I don't have enough, I don't think. So I did find in my stash, I have this little flower spray from like a bigger, or bead spray from like a bigger flower arrangement type thing. So I'm going to do the same thing, but with these. So I do want this really full, so I am going to use 4 of these little pieces up here. So I'm just kind of rearranging them. So I am going to add some sort of flower cluster, and so I'm just building up. So if that's my middle, I'm going to do these out just a little bit further. And I'm just going to use hot glue again. So that's what we have so far. I know it looks kind of like it's a hot mess, but it will turn out and it will be really pretty when we're done here. So I think my plan is to start off with, here's some more really pretty Kraft Supply for You flowers. And I think I'm going to start off with those kind of in my middle. And then I'm going to go back in with some of these that I still have and kind of decorate around. And make kind of a nice little flower cluster up in here. So I'm just trying to see how many I want, because I am building up. So I think I'm going to take 4 of these mauve colored ones. You might have to hold these in place while they dry. So just be patient. So that's kind of what we have so far. So I'm going to glue these in there, and they're 3 separate flowers. So what I'm going to do for these 3 is I kind of twisted them together at the bottom so that I can just glue them in like this. So I'm just pressing kind of lightly just so that they stay in the hot glue while they're drying. I do want them to stay in place. So that's kind of what we have so far. And then next we're going to want to just fill in all the spots in between with flowers and rosebuds. So I'm going to add the white ones first. So that's what it looks like so far. If you like that, you can just stop. So my original plan was to use the little 2-tone roses in here, but there's not a lot of room in there. So I think I'm just going to use some of these little paper ones right here just to kind of finish it off in there. Because it does need something. For me, this is always the fun part, just kind of deciding which flowers I want to use. So I usually try to have a pretty good stash sitting on my desk when I make flower clusters and flower sprays. So that's what the front looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the back, and we'll see if I do the same thing on this side yet. I'm not sure. So we'll do the same thing on the back side here. And there's the back side. So on the sides right here, just to fill it in, I am going to use those 2-tone roses. And I'm going to have a little bit longer stems on these because I might just kind of flip them up just a little bit. Like that. So here's what we have so far. And I think it still needs just a little bit more. I think these could be a little bit fuller, so I'm going to go ahead and attach a couple more of these. Yeah, I like that better. It's a little more full. So that's what we have now. And I think there's just a little bit of an opening up here, so I am going to add a flower. And my first thought was, since I had one more of these, to go ahead and put that in here. And I think that would look really cute. It does kind of smush these little flowers down a little bit, but it does carry out the theme. Or I still have another little pink rosebud, which I could do up there too. I think I like both, but I'm going to go ahead with this one since I already have this one with the glitter glass, and it's my last one with the glitter glass, just to use it up. And it looks really nice and pleasing when you're looking at it this way. A nice big flower cluster right there. So I'm going to try and just hold this up so that maybe it doesn't get as smushed. So there's my little flower cluster. And I really like how that looks. That's really, really nice. So now I'm going to finish this off just by adding some green leaves kind of throughout. Okay, I'm going to add a few more things to finish this off. I still have one more applique left over from a past design team project from Kraft Supplies for You. And it was one that I just cut off of one of those collar pieces, but I think I'm going to add that right there. Just because it seems like there's a little bit of an open space right here. Again, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac to glue that down. And so that's what I have now. I still want to add these acrylic pieces up to the corner. And while I was cutting these off earlier, a couple of the little bead ends fell off. So I'm going to go ahead and use those for my centers instead of a pearl, just so they don't go to waste. So that's what I have. And so again, I'm just going to glue these down up in the corners right here, like that. So it looks like I just need to put hot glue kind of on the top little bit right here. I'm going to do the other, so that's what that looks like right there. We're going to go ahead and do the other side real quick. So that's what that one looks like. Really cute. And then to finish it off, I do want to just do a little bit of decorating on the side. And so I'm going to take this Kraft Supply for You trim. I'm just going to cut up 2 pieces off of it to use for the sides. So that's what I end up with, is that little piece like that. I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac glue to glue it on the side. And then to kind of finish that off one more time, I'm going to add, I have these little flat back heart-shaped plastic pieces in my stash, so I'm going to glue that into the middle of the heart. So there I have a nice little embellishment. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. And so I also decided now just to, since I did end up covering up some of my flowers in the background right here, I am going to go ahead and just glue in real quick just a couple more of these little pink paper flowers. So I glued one in right there behind this bead spray, and I'm going to glue one back in right back here also. Next, I adhere flat back pearls to each of the corners of the shadow box using hot glue. I realized I forgot to add in a butterfly, and I really wanted to add one of these Kraft Supply for You butterflies. And so there's a couple different options. If you are working on this, you could put a butterfly right here, and that would look really cute. You could, of course, put it down here also and have the wings coming out. That would look really cute, but I do want it on my little flower spray up at the top. And so the next little trick I wanted to show you guys is I did go ahead and disassemble one of these. They do come like this from Kraft Supplies for You. Again, she has a whole bunch of different colors and styles. And so what I did is I went ahead and I took the crystals off that were on the antenna and down here, and I took this off. So I'm going to reattach it, and I'm going to put pearls on there just because I like the look of pearls, and I have, if you look at my little project here, I have pearls in a lot of my flowers, and I just really would rather carry that theme out than the crystals, so I am going to change my mind and do that. And then the other little hint that I had for you sometimes too is to make this butterfly pop a little bit more, I'm going to add some stickles and just highlight. You can already see there's already glitter on the butterfly, but I'm going to add this little pink. It's called Pink Taffeta. I'm going to add a little bit of pink on there. And again, I'm just going to be attaching it up here. And since I'm going to be attaching it with the glitter kind of wet, I'm going to try and shape it the best I can right now. Just so that I can be done with this tutorial and not have to wait for another thing to dry before I finish. So I will be attaching it like right here, and I think I can do that with the wet stickles and then just let it dry again overnight. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and just highlight over where there already is the glitter. I'm just adding the little pink just to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. And this could have been at the very beginning when we were prepping some different things where we painted things and we were working on that cameo, gluing that in and stuff. We could have been prepping this also. I just kind of forgot about it until I was cleaning my desk. But I do love adding butterflies, and I really like these Kraft Supply for You butterflies. And again, you don't have to do this step. I'm just wanting to add a little bit more color to my butterfly. So that is wet, and normally I'd let this dry before I went ahead and did the next step, but I'm going to try and do it all right now. So again, here's kind of what we have. So I'm going to glue the antenna back down, being very careful not to affect my glitter too much. And I'm going to attach some of my flat back pearls on top of this. I'm just going to end with just a little bit smaller flat back pearl if I can get it off of my finger here. So that's the middle right there. Then I'm going to also try and very carefully attach 2 pearls up at the top. So now that's what my little butterfly looks like. And again, I'm just going to attach it to the top of my project here. And I'm pretty sure that's where I want it to go. So I'm going to go ahead and just put quite a bit of glue on the back side and very carefully attach it. And I'll just hold it in place for about 30 seconds or so just to make sure that it attaches to the flowers. And there you have it. So I'll zoom out again so you can look at everything. So here's our finished project. I really like how this shadow box turned out. I love the floral arrangements that we've done in the corners with the extra little embellishments. Then again, there's the top with the nice little flower cluster that we created and added the butterfly. And then the sides, I did leave it just with that little bit of trim hanging there, and then the little heart pearl in the middle. And I did that, of course, on both sides. And the back, I did leave relatively plain. I just added the flat back pearls in the corners. If you wanted, you could add some sort of image or a pretty doily back there, or another really pretty applique if you wanted to take it one step further. But I'm okay with the back side just being kind of plain, and if I choose to give it to someone, I probably will just go ahead and add my signature somewhere back here just to give myself credit for this. But again, that is the finished product, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching my tutorial. Let me know what you think. Have a wonderful day and take care.